Breaking news coming in on the broadcast. Virat Kohli has announced his retirement from Test cricket. Making the announcement on Twitter, he said, and I quote, "It's been 14 years since I first wore the baggy blue in Test cricket. Honestly, I never imagined the journey this format would take me on. It's tested me, shaped me and taught me lessons I'll carry for life. There's something deeply personal about playing in whites. The quiet grind, the long days, the small moments that no one sees, but that stay with you forever." Now, Kohli's decision to retire from Tests comes days after Rohit Sharma announces immediate retirement from the format. Both players had earlier stepped away from T20Is after India's World Cup victory in Barbados last year. The duo has now stepped away from Tests ahead of the England tour, which marks the start of a new World Test Championship cycle. Krishna Kumar, my colleague, joining us on the broadcast. Krishna, Virat Kohli making that big announcement of retiring from Test cricket.
Absolutely, and it was looming large on Virat Kohli, to be honest, because there is, post the completion of the IPL season, there is that all-important England tour that India has to go on, and a lot of speculation on what that team is going to look like, because bear in mind, India showing in Test cricket in recent past has not been great. Lots of questions being raised on the senior players and, how many of them will stay on. You've seen a barrage of retirements in the recent past. If you start from, R. Ashwin to Rohit Sharma, the current captain of the Indian Test team, you see these old guard leaving, and the big questions were surrounding how long will Virat Kohli be able to hold on. But to be honest, many had asked Virat Kohli to reconsider his decision. There were also rumors and reports that Virat Kohli was looking to take back a captaincy post the exit of Rohit Sharma, and he was not offered that opportunity to become the captain of the Indian Test team again. And right in the middle of all these speculations, is Kohli looking to become the captain again? Is Kohli looking to retire from the format altogether? Comes this big admission and big announcement, to be honest. His announcement on social media, on his Instagram page, and that if you just read out that post, it's all about the gratitude and 14 years of playing Test cricket, after which Virat Kohli has chosen to call it a day. The numbers speak for themselves. Over 9,000 runs in Test cricket. He's got a stellar record as a batsman. Even as a captain, he was when he took over, it was a good run, which unfortunately ended abruptly because of the lack of success as a captain and other factors going into it. And now it is an end of an era, so to speak, as far as the Indian Test cricket is concerned. You're one of the greatest batsmen in the world, one of the greatest batsmen that India has ever produced, is walking away from that format of cricket, which most cricketers consider as the pinnacle of cricket per se. Despite the advent of T20 and the popularity of one-day international over the last 20 years until the arrival of T20, for all cricketers, playing Test cricket for their country is one of the most important duties, something that means a lot to them. And Virat Kohli,
it means a lot. Right, it means a lot, and he's showing there a lot of gratitude as far as that post that has been put out by Virat Kohli is concerned. Shekhar Luthra, sports journalist, joining us on the show right now. Shekhar, after a lot of ambiguity, it does appear that Virat Kohli is hanging his boots.
I think a very right decision, because if you look at his recent forms, obviously there was a century in the first Test in Australia, but after that he was struggling, and before that also we have given him a long rope. He was definitely, as you were saying, he's one of the most successful captains as well as the batsman, middle order batsman. But again, there is always a time to say goodbye, and I think he has chosen the right time before the England tour. He understands his technique is failing him, and he also understands that probably his reflection and obviously the form that has not been in the best of in the recent times in Test cricket with the red ball. And England, if you remember the first series that he played, Anderson troubled him so much, during that time, but Dhoni saved his career. And later on, he also saved Dhoni's career, and he became one of the most successful. But I think good luck to him for whatever he chose to play after this. But a very, very correct decision at a very, very right time.
Right, a correct decision at a correct right time. Shekhar Luthra, where does this leave the Indian Test cricket team right ahead of England tour?
Well, team will take its own course. I don't think that having Virat Kohli there is going to make a lot of difference. I am of that opinion. Because it is very obvious from his footwork, from the way his bat is hanging, the way he's been troubled outside off stump in recent times. He was not very comfortable in Test cricket. And don't forget that 18 months were without any century. So we have given him enough time. But again, there is always a time in everybody's career. Whether it was Sunil Gavaskar, when he was hanging his boots, everybody was asking why so early. But he was so intelligent. He said, whenever till the time people are asking me why at this time, that is the right time to go. But again, I think that the team will take its own course. Shubman Gill, Jaiswal, all these.
Right, right, sir. Continue to stay with us. In fact, I'm joined by Atul Vasan, former cricketer, on this News9 special broadcast. We're getting for all our viewers the latest. Virat Kohli has retired from Test cricket. Let me quickly go across to Mr. Atul. Mr. Atul, a shocking announcement rather. Virat Kohli has announced retirement from Test cricket.
Well, it's not shocking. I think the signs were there, but I'm really sad, and I'm just worried for the next upcoming tour, and in the short term, because I think he seems to be in the prime form, and I think the thought of not seeing Virat Kohli in a Test jersey for India in the coming future is not a very pleasant thought. But hats off to the guy, and what a career! And then people say, then not many people go at the top, but he has decided to go at the top because there's still a lot of cricket. He wants to play one-day cricket for India. He wants to probably play in the next Olympics. I think that is the aim. So he has to pace himself, and I think he's a wise, smart guy. And I just want to doff my hat to him.
And also, Mr. Atul, like you said, that the announcement comes just days before India's 5-match Test series in England, which begins on the 20th of June. Where does it really leave Team India?
I think we will actually miss him again because his kind of quality, being there, he has been on tour to England many times, and just his presence would have meant a lot. But, because we've got a lot of talent also, and this is the rebuilding phase. So I think King is that long live the King, but he would have thought that if he just carries on tours to England on this tour, then probably he would have to sacrifice some format here and there. And he's a family man. He's got 2 kids now, and he wants to judiciously utilize his time. And there's other life beyond cricket also. And I think he must have thought hard. And people say that retire. People should say why rather than when. So I think he has decided to leave the question why.
Right. And also, sir, as a former cricketer yourself, how do you personally rate Virat Kohli's contribution to Indian cricket? More as a batter or as a captain?
Not really. I think just his presence and the way he's taken the team forward, and he said that dogma of the team, the fitness levels he enforced on the team, and I think that you can see the results now. And I think it will be stating the obvious if I just dwell on his cricket and what he has done. But I don't think so that in his era anybody came near to him, and I think we'll struggle to actually see this kind of persona, this kind of presence in any format of cricket anywhere in the world, not just India. I think the whole cricketing world is poorer today.
Right, continue to stay with us. In fact, I'm also joined by Venkat Sundaram, former cricketer and pitch committee chairman, BCCI. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Sundaram. This is a shocking announcement. I've been saying this. Virat Kohli has announced retirement from Test cricket, sir. A stunning decision that's left the cricketing world in disbelief.
Yes, but it was expected. He had hinted as such. And I think after a very long career, he made his debut 14 years ago. That's a huge, time span where he has dominated world cricket, not only in Test cricket but also in the other formats, in the shorter formats. And he's in a different class. And what an inspiration he was for the youngsters coming up. Whether it was fitness, whether it was commitment, the moment he entered that field, it was all about India and India winning. he got that, you could sense his commitment and his pride in playing in whites for the country. I think he'll be very sorely missed. He was a champion batsman, and his performances not only in India but all over the cricket world, has excited the followers of the game. And he was unique in many ways. He played cricket his way, and he dominated. That is the main thing. We've seen people like Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar as well as Viv Richards. The closest to Richards was, I think, in my view, it was not Sachin Tendulkar but Virat Kohli. In terms of fitness, in terms of fielding, the way he used to field, the way he used to inspire his teammates. Very often when you have an inspirational figure like Kohli on the field, he can lift the game of the others. And we've seen that time and time again. And, one can never forget his tours of particularly Australia, where, the aggro was evident, not only from the Indian side, but also from the opponents. And there he dominated them and scored 100 in each innings and things like that. So it's not easy, and I think he's had an outstanding career, a career of which he can be very proud. And I think he was an embellishment to the game of cricket itself.
Couldn't agree more with you on that, sir. But Mr. Sundaram, as someone who has seen cricket evolve over decades, where would you place Virat Kohli in the pantheon of India's all-time greats in Test cricket?
Well, he certainly has to be counted amongst the very top. Indian cricket goes back a long time. It started in 1932. And this is 2025, almost 100 years, 90 odd years. So there have been many champions in the past as well. But, he has seen cricket evolve from, say, the longer format, and then the shorter format has come in. We've had World Cups in T20 and also in the one day, so this was not there earlier. So all this, he has seen that, and he has dominated in all the formats. So, he's certainly a very unique character, and I think one has to place him at the very top. He led with pride. He led the country's team, and I think his record speaks for itself. I don't need to add much to that. We've all enjoyed watching him play,